We just want to name, though, that if you're having trouble grasping how fast this is all moving and the ability to make good predictions about where it'll be, you are in good company, because even AI experts who are the most familiar with understanding exponential curves are actually very poor at predicting progress.
So specifically, there was a question asked, a poll run in 2021 asking AI researchers, when will AI be able to solve competition-level mathematics with above 80% accuracy? Now, I want you to think, these are the AI researchers who are aware of all the demos we've shown you. These are the ones who are aware of the exponential curves that we're talking about. So if anyone would be good at estimating how, when this is going to happen, they're going to be more informed than the other people. And their prediction is that it will take, it'll reach 52% accuracy in 4 years. But the reality is that it reached more than 50% in just 1 year. They were off by a factor of 4. Okay? So imagine when people who are building it and they're trying to estimate how fast it's going to go, and they're off in their prediction. And this is just, there's many other examples of this, by the way. We're shortening the presentation. And now AI is actually beating tests as fast as they're made. This is a set of graphs. Each of these colored lines are a test that we're trying to come up with to say how good is the AI at doing this specific task. So you see some tests were invented in the late 90s, the yellow one and the blue one. And you can see that they're getting, the AIs are getting better and better and better, and then finally crosses human ability in like 2015 for those first couple tests, right? But now you see these other tests, the colored lines on the right-hand side. Those tests, as soon as they're being proposed, the AI is basically passing those tests faster and faster. So much so that Jack Clark, who's the co-founder of Anthropic, one of the big AI companies, has the following quote. And by the way, we feel the exact same way. When we're on Twitter and we scan the AI papers, the quote is, "Tracking progress is getting increasingly hard because progress is accelerating. This progress is unlocking things critical to economic and national security, and if you don't skim the papers each day, you will miss important trends that your rivals will notice and exploit." Right? How can our institutions and our culture be governing this when it's moving faster than even the people who are building it are able to track?
One final point before we sort of move into the next section is that often we'll hear, and we're from Silicon Valley, so we hear this often, which is democratization is just good, right? And people believe democratization is good because democratization rhymes with democracy. But unqualified democratization is really dangerous. And we'll give one example here, and this really speaks to the omni-use of AI, that the very best use case can also enable the very worst use case. We'll give an example, which is an AI that was trained to discover less toxic drugs. The researchers who were playing with it were like, hey, I wonder if we just added one character, a minus sign, so instead of it being a positive thing, it was a negative thing. And within just, I think, 6 hours, it generated 40,000 toxic molecules, including VX nerve gas and a whole bunch of other known chemical warfare agents.
So this is a system that, again, all it was doing is saying, here's a drug compound. Let me see if I can find a less toxic version of it. That would be great. We can find all these less toxic things for humans. And all the engineer did is flip from less toxic to more. He just literally put one character in the code. And that's it's the same thing could be used to find all these other chemicals.
So every time, I want everyone in this room, when you are reading news articles about some amazing new thing AI can do, which will be true, add a minus sign in your head to understand what other things it will enable if it's just distributed out for everyone to use. And as you think about that, then you ask the question, have we fixed the misalignment?
With social media, right? So if this was first contact with social media, and just a simple misalignment with just this very simple thing, just when you scroll your finger, just picking what to show people, just curating, and it caused this, then creation AI with second contact can cause us to be able to hack anything that relies on language, which includes, again, media, synthetic media. Law and contracts are based on language. I can hack law and contracts. Religion is based on language. I can say, reinterpret these current events in terms of biblical prophecy or in terms of Islamic fundamentalism, any religion you want to do, you can play with. Exponential blockmail, exploitation of code. I think you've seen enough of these demos. You've seen the dark side. This is the world that no one wants. That's why we're doing this presentation, because no one wants the things that we have showed you. And what this amounts to is these Golem AIs, that anything that isn't protected by 19th century laws, our laws don't protect against many of the things that we're talking about, because the founding fathers, in talking about free speech, couldn't anticipate computation, artificial intelligence, machine learning, right? So our laws need to be updated. Okay.
Now we move to the good news section, right, of this presentation. At least, right, we're slowly deploying these golems to the public to test it safely. Well, go for it.
No, go ahead.
This is the speed at which the technology is being rolled out. It turns out that AI is the fastest publicly deployed technology in human history. You know, it took Instagram, what is that, a little over 1,000 days to get to 100 billion users. ChatGPT, it was less than 2 months.
It took Facebook 4.5 years to get to 100 million users, and ChatGPT in just 2 months. So we are rolling out this incredibly powerful technology faster than we rolled out other technologies that we thought were good for a long time. And Microsoft Windows has actually embedded ChatGPT directly into the Windows 11 taskbar. Now, surely, knowing this, we would never put this in front of our children. But Snapchat actually just decided a few months ago, it actually happened while we were making this presentation the first time around, to create something called a My AI agent. Now, I want to explain what this is. Now, imagine you're a 13-year-old kid. These are your friends. When you go to the chat list, you can see all your regular friends. And suddenly one day, Snapchat ships a new My AI that is pinned at the top. And the users didn't ask for it. It's now rolled out to all the Snapchat users, by the way. And that friend, so these other friends down here, they stop talking to you at 10 p.m. Or they're not tired of hearing about the emotional problems you have. They're not always available to befriend you and be good with you, et cetera. But there's suddenly this new friend who's always there to talk to you. He'll talk to you all day long, and you'll build a relationship with that friend, right? And the other companies are now going to be forced. TikTok and Instagram are also going to be forced to do this too. Now, what did this amount to? So AZA posed as a 13-year-old. You want to explain?
I will. Just to name, with the attention economy, this was a race to the bottom of the brainstem. Now, it is a race to intimacy, to occupy that primary intimate spot in your life.